It's your boy Sam back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be going through and ranking our top power forwards right now in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM on a tier list. Now, I feel like the power forward position is pretty stout. I did include most of the center slash power forwards because I feel like that's a position that you could play like guys at either, such as like a Giannis, such as like a Bobby Portis, even Chet. I feel like those are the types of guys that can play either the power forward or a center position. So again, I'm going to start off here with Blake Griffin and then move through this. If you are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button on the road towards 130,000 subscribers. Blake Griffin, I mean, they made him better defensively, but I think the whole problem with Blake Griffin is the fact that, look, he's not as cheesy as he has been in the past. He's only 6'9", compared to in the past he has been a little bit taller, and I think that's just kind of the one thing that holds me back with Blake Griffin is, look, he's 6'9". He's not as he's been 6'10" in the past, and he's not like a cheese ball like Pink Diamond Blake has been in the past. I don't know, he's fine. He's not great though in my team. Pink Diamond Dirk up next, another card I'm not super high on. Now I do think Blake is a little better than Dirk because Dirk's just got a beta jump shot. His defense is not good, and it's crazy the amount of people I do see running Pink Diamond Dirk, even though the card is a bona fide scrub. So I don't know, I'm not a big fan of either of them, but if I had to choose, give me Blake Griffin. Kenyon Martin up next. Defensively, Kenyon Martin is fantastic, but his release is a little bit slow, and he's just not super tall. I mean, even with Kenyon Martin, am I the biggest fan of him? No. I think he's fine. I think you can use him and have some success with him. I just don't think he is next level good in my team. Bobby Portis up next. I like Bobby P. I actually think he's better than Dirk. I actually think he's better than Kenyon Martin, and that's crazy to say, but it all with Bobby Portis starts and ends with that release. He's got such a good release in my team, and defensively he can go out there and compete. Am I saying he's going to be the best power forward in the game? No, but he can go out there and compete at a pretty high level, which I do think is important in my team. Vando up next. I wish I could say I like Vando as much as Bobby Portis, but I just don't. And it's not that I don't like Vando. It's not that I don't think Vando can go out there and compete. It's just that I don't think he's, quite as good as Bobby Portis. No, it's crazy because when these Evo cards first came out, I thought Vando was going to be much better than Bobby, but as the Evos happened, turned out Bobby Portis was just a little bit better. Al Horford up next. Look, I'm not a fan of this card. I don't like him. And it's the same thing with, where's the other Ruby reward card that we did get? I can't find him, but when I do get to the other, Paul Millsap. Both these cards are not very good in my team. And I know there might be some people out there that it's like, Ty, I get them along my grind. They're not that bad, and that's fine. If you want to use them, do what you got to do. I'm just saying they're not great in my team. Şengün up next. Now for Şengün, it's difficult. I do not love the Sapphire Şengün. Now the other Şengün isn't bad. The other Şengün I'm going to put in B tier. I think the Sapphire Şengün is just not nearly as good as the Diamond. Diamond Şengün's not bad. I do think he's better at the center position than the power forward position, so that's something to take into consideration. But as far as an overall card, I do like Diamond Şengün a decent amount. Amari Stoudemire up next. I'm not a big fan of Amari. I think he probably is deserving of C tier, but I really do not like the card in my team. And honestly, I'm gonna maybe move down these cards because I just don't see these cards playing at any real level in my team. Next up, guys, we do see Diamond Anthony Davis. Now, AD, I know he came out a while ago, but he is still really good in my team. I mean, he is. He green shots. He plays defense, has a good frame. There's really just no flaws with the Diamond AD. Obviously, not super cheap, but if you did lock in the set for Pink Diamond Giannis, you still got AD, and I think he can play at a very high level. Diamond Bam up next. Here's the tough part. I like Bam more than AD, and I think it all starts on that defensive end of the court. I think Bam's going to get you more stops than AD. I think his speed is better, and I just think he's going to compete at a better level than Anthony Davis in my team. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be like, really, Ty? Like, I prefer AD. If you haven't tried Bam, it's hard for you guys to really tell, but trust me, Bam is the real deal in my team. Bob Pettit up next. Here's the deal. I'm not a big Bob Pettit stan. I'm going to throw him at B tier. It's not that I even hate Bob Pettit, because I don't. I think you can use Bob Pettit, and he can play at a pretty decent level in my team. My whole question would be this. Is he worth the collector grind? I don't think so. And if he's not worth the collector grind, I'm not gonna hype the card up super high. Diamond Chet up next. Is B tier too low for Diamond Chet? I honestly want to say it is. I'm going to go A tier with Diamond Chet. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, really, Ty? Diamond Chet still in A tier? Here's what I'll say. Tell me what's bad about Diamond Chet. You can say, oh, well, Ty, his strength's not good. And you know what? I'll agree with you. I do not like the strength of the card. But outside of that, what can the card not do on the court? He plays solid defense. He is 7-1. He is still going to green every single shot you take with him. There's just not a lot of bad things you can say about Chet. And for me, that's why I do think Diamond Chet is still in that A tier. Again, you guys might not like Chet. You guys might not have a ton of success with Chet. And if you guys haven't, or if you didn't lock him in, I didn't lock him in, I get it. But let's say you got Diamond Chet and for whatever reason you didn't go and get the pink Diamond Chet. I want you guys to know Diamond Chet can still play at a very high level in my team. Pink Diamond Chet, obviously, take everything I just said about the Diamond Chet and amplify it. Pink Diamond Chet, one of the best power forwards we have in the entire game. Best part about him is he's free, guys. You cannot take that for granted. Pink Diamond Chet for absolutely free. All you had to do is get 200 blocks, which, again, super easy grind at the end of the day. Diamond Chris Bosh, I still think he's B tier. I don't have a problem with Diamond Chris Bosh. Gauntlet reward still to this day might be one of the best gauntlets we have seen. I do think Roy Hibbert's better, but Chris Bosh, absolutely solid. Cliff Robinson at this stage, I'm going to throw him a D tier. Not totally useless. The problem with Cliff Robinson is his release is just too slow. Have been using him in salary cap this week because he has been relatively cheap, and the card has not been bad at all. Next up, guys, on the list, we do see Amethyst David West. Now, it's crazy to say he was one of our best mode rewards last season because he still wasn't great, you know, like just bang average in basically every statistical category. And I don't want to sit here and hate on David West, but he's just mediocre. I don't know. D tier is where I'm going. I still think everybody at C tier is better than David West. Dayron Sharp can shoot the ball, play a little defense. I'm going to go D tier, only 6'9". I just don't think he's great. He is better than everybody at F tier, though. Boogie Cousins think he's better at center than power forward. But if you do want to play him at power forward, I am going to go B tier with the card. Just think overall a really solid guy that you can use and have success with. Again, I do think he is better at that. I do think he's better at the center position than the power forward position. So just kind of, you know, take that into consideration. Evan Mobley up next. I'm going A tier with Evan Mobley. I like Evan Mobley. I got no problems with Evan Mobley. From top to bottom, I think he's one of the most complete power forwards in the entire game. And if you don't think so, I think you need to really, you know, look at what the card does. The only problem with Evan Mobley is his release, but still for his value, I think Evan Mobley is absolutely fantastic in my team. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Diamond Giannis, I'm going to put him at A tier. Pink Diamond Giannis, obviously I do think is S tier. So again, that's just kind of my opinion. I do like Giannis though. If you locked in for Greek Freak a long time ago, and let's say you're just getting back into my team, Diamond Giannis can still play to this day. Pink Diamond Giannis, obviously S tier. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. One of the best overall, not only power forwards in the game, but one of the best cards in the game. Release is a little bit slow, a little bit baited, but you know, if you do get it down, you're not going to miss with Giannis. You know, most people I play that are really good at the game, they green basically every shot they take with the card. Grant Williams up next. I mean, look, here's the deal with Grant Williams. He's undersized. His release is baited. There's just not a lot to really talk about with Grant Williams. The card is just very, very, very mid at the end of the day. If you want to use Grant Williams, all I can say is like, have fun. I just don't love the card. I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and hate on him. I'm not trying to sit here and say he's worthless. But if he could play the small forward position, maybe he'd be usable. Greg Oden up next. And look, Greg Oden's not a card I use a ton of, but you can use Greg Oden and just have a ton of success with him. I mean, I've played the card, or played with the card somewhat. I did a gameplay with him and he was fine, or didn't do a gameplay, but I locked in the card and have played with him. And I can say he's fine. I just don't want you guys to get Greg Oden and be like, man, Ty, his release is slow. Yes, his release is slow. That is to be expected of a Greg Oden card, but I mean, defensively, he's very similar to this card. I like how they're back-to-back because I was going to compare them anyway. Hakeem and Greg Oden literally basically copy and paste of each other. Who you like more, who you prefer more is totally up to you, but both those cards are absolutely fantastic. Jeff Ruland, I'm sorry. You're not very good in my team. You're not worthless, but you are a D tier. Julius Randle, I'm putting you at D tier too. I know some people really like and rate Julius Randle decently high. I'm just not not somebody that really is a big fan of the card. I don't like his release. He's somewhat undersized. I think his release is baited. Just can't hype him up. Pink Diamond Cat, what is there needed to be said? Look at his stats. Look at his badges. He is one of the best power forwards in the game. Now, yes, his release is baited. We know that. Gonna have to get used to it, but I do still think he's S tier. If you look at his stats, look at his badges, there's not that many better power forwards than Big Cat in my team. Next up, guys, we do see KG. Now, I like KG. The problem is the grind that was needed for KG. That's the big time problem. Again, KG is fine. There's really no issues with KG. There's no downsides with KG. The card is all around good. The only thing you could say is his release is baited, which it is, but the problem is you had to grind and complete every game mode last season. Kwame Brown released way quicker, 3-ball than the, not great. Defensively, maybe not as good as KG. Still one of the top power forwards in the game. Because of his release more than anything, Kwame Brown is really solid in my team. LaMarcus Aldridge up next. Budget big with the duo might be a little bit better. Without the duo, I still think I gotta go D tier. I don't think he's as good as Kenyon Martin, Jared Vanderbilt, or Dirk Nowitzki. Miles Turner, I think he's better than those guys I just listed. I'm gonna put Miles Turner at B tier. You look at the guy, he's a stretch big. He's 6'11", can compete at the power forward or center position. I'm a big fan of him. B tier is where he belongs. Claxton, C tier. I haven't been putting people in C tier very often, but Claxton definitely is deserving of that. Good stretch, big release is definitely baited, but overall a solid card. Obi Toppin, D tier. No real problems with him, just definitely undersized. Definitely a card that, it is good, not great. Like, he's really a budget card in my team, just not necessarily that high on him. Otis Thorpe, look, he is a mode reward. I can't just sit here and hate on Otis Thorpe. I don't have any big time problems with the card. But when it comes down to it, is Otis Thorpe like next level good? No, he's fine. I don't hate the card. He is D tier in my opinion though. Boncaro up next. This one's a tough one. Everybody is in love with Paolo Boncaro. Everybody literally is starting to gas him as being that best, one of the best power forwards in my team. Do I believe that? Am I, that high on the card? I don't know. I think it's kind of a struggle for me because I like Boncaro. I don't think the card is bad at all. But when we're talking about being in S tier, he's only 6'10". I'm going to put him in S tier though. I still think, when it comes down to it, he is deserving of S tier. I just don't know if I can, hype him up as much as some of the other top bigs like a Cat, like a Giannis, like a Chet in my team. Pascal Siakam, Spicy P, at this stage, I'm going to go B tier. Still don't hate the card. Still think he's really solid overall. B tier is where he belongs. Purvis Ellison, bonafide scrub, S tier. Thurl Bailey, I'm going to go, another tough one. I guess I'll go S tier. I think his release is more baited than people want to, make of it, but he is still really solid in my team. Last, certainly not least, Trayce Jackson-Davis. He can't shoot, and because of that, have him at F tier. That's gonna wrap it up for our video today, guys, on the power forward tier list. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.